All right, Miss Morgan, we're going to be on page 38. The chapter is Collect Call. I forget what number chapter it is. But the girls just went to the Chinese restaurant to get their supper after Cecile stole all their money. They went to get their supper, and the lady at the Chinese restaurant was telling them, no free egg roll. And she was upset because people came in for free egg rolls all the time, and she was sick of giving them to them. So they were sitting and waiting on their supper. And Delphine said she decided that there wasn't anybody in all of Oakland that she was going to like. She wished she could go back to New York and just leave Cecile. Alright, so collect call on page 38. Mean Lady Ming laid a $1 bill and a few coins on the counter. She handed me the brown paper bag with the food, gave Vanetta the bottle of Pepsi and a small bottle of fruit punch, then gave Fern a paper bag with the plates, cups, forks, and napkins. I scooped up all of the change. There were at least 2 dimes in coins, which was enough to call home to Brooklyn collect. When we went outside, the beakish guy with the floppy afro was gone. We all squeezed into the phone booth with our bags from Ming's. I hooked my finger inside the hole for 0 on the phone and dialed. The operator came on and I spoke up. Operator, I want to make a collect call to Louis Gaither. Papa's proper name felt strange coming from my mouth. I said it again clearer, although the operator didn't ask me to. Instead, she asked for my name, and I gave it to her. Delphine. There's nothing mumbly about the way I talk. I don't swallow my letters or run them together. The operator still asked, "Can I have that again?" as if she didn't get it the first time. I broke it into syllables. Delphine. She told me to stay on the line. While she was ringing Pa, I realized my Timex was still on Brooklyn time, and that it was after 11 o'clock. Pa rose in the dark for work and was asleep by 9. I started to wind the stem when the operator came back. Go ahead, miss. Hello? Hello? Big Ma sounded far away, but we heard her and we were glad to have reached home. Already Vanetta and Fern began puppy yelping in the background and grabbing at the phone. I gave them a stern look to make them quit it. Before I could say, "We're here in Oakland with Cecile," Big Ma said, "Delphine, do you know how much this phone call is costing your father?" There was no time to be tongue-tied. I spoke up. "But Papa said call, not collect, Delphine. Where'd you get a thought like that? I knew you girls should have never left Brooklyn. You fly out to Oakland and lose your last ounce of common sense. Let me speak to your mother." "She's not here," I said. "She's in her house." Vanetta and Fern were still shouting to Big Ma and Papa, who had to be asleep. "And why are you out in the street in the middle of the night? I'm going to tell your Pa about this." Big Ma scolded and fussed, running up the phone bill even higher. When she was done telling me about myself and about that no kind of mother Cecile, I told her we were safe and said good night, and Vanetta and Fern hollered, "Good night, Big Ma and Pa." Then I hung up the phone. At least I had done what Pa had told me to do. I called. Cecile guarded the kitchen swinging door and pointed us to the living room where she had laid out a waxy tablecloth on the floor. We spread out around the cloth. Cecile took over everything, dumping shrimp lo mein and an egg roll on each plate, tossing everyone a fork and a napkin. To me she said, "Pour the drinks," which I did. This was the most mothering we got, if you don't count her coming to claim us. Not that I wanted or needed any mothering. I was just thinking about Vanetta and Fern. They were expecting a mother, at least a hug, a "look how y'all grown," a look of sorrow and a plea of forgiveness. I knew better. At least that was one thing Cecile and Big Ma had in common. Big Ma had no forgiveness for Cecile, and Cecile had no need for it. Mean Lady Ming had thrown in a pair of chopsticks. Vanetta and Fern eyed the wooden sticks and formulated ideas about turning them into hairpins, play-fight swords, and pickup sticks. Cecile ended all of that when she broke the sticks joined at the top, rubbed them against each other like she was kindling twigs for a campfire, then wrapped noodles around them and shoved the noodles, shrimp, and sticks into her mouth. We were all staring. We'd never seen anyone eating with chopsticks other than on TV. We'd never seen colored people eating with them, and here was our mother eating with chopsticks like the Chinese men that I had read about who worked on the railroads. She ate hungrily, setting no type of table manner examples for us, her daughters. Cecile knew our eyes were on her. With a mouthful of food, she said, "Thought y'all were hungry." We picked up our forks and ate. When we were done, Cecile grabbed everything that hadn't been used. Soy sauce, spicy mustard, her fork, an extra cup that mean Lady Ming had thrown in. She told us to stay right there while she had brought everything into the kitchen. So we stayed put. I thought she might want to talk to us. Find out how we were doing in school, what we liked and didn't like, if we ever had chicken pox or our tonsils taken out. Well, I thought about what I'd tell her. We'd heard a knock on the door. Then another loud knock. We jumped up to look through the curtains, but Cecile came out of the kitchen. "Get back in the room. Get." And we did. But I caught a glimpse through the curtain. I had already seen 3 people in dark clothes with afros. So there's a lot about their mama that we don't know about yet. But I still don't like her, Morgan. I just don't like her.